Lisa here from Stringfield Ridge Farm. My friend Cathy over at Living Miracle Homestead started a collaboration called Yard to Table. And she has done a couple of videos for that and is asking anyone else that wants to join in this collaboration. It is a video collaboration of homesteaders to go out in your yard or your garden and find something that you cook and bring it in, cook it up, and put it on the table. And so I thought about all the different foraging I could do, you know, any dandelions and all kinds of other foraging that I could do. We have a lot of videos on foraging. I have a video on eating your front yard. We have different videos on stuff like that, but it just so happened that I was fixing to make something out of Lee's giant jalapenos that he planted last year, and then we saved some seeds and planted them again this year. About the time I looked up this recipe and was going to make this, I thought I'll film that and use that as my yard to table video. Now, of course, it's garden, not yard, but it's all the same thing. Some people could grow these in your yard. If you don't have a big garden, you can always grow some things right in your yard, in pots, on a deck, or whatever you choose. So this is my yard to table recipe. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Cathy at Living Miracle Homestead, for including me. Okay, so first off, folks, I'm putting on an apron. And I wear glasses, so I'm okay there. I'm also putting on my gloves. You do not want to mess with hot peppers without protection. As we all know from seeing Lee's previous video from last year when he dealt with these jalapeno peppers, these same peppers that he had grown last year, we saved seeds and used them to plant this year. So these are from those. And they are called gigantic jalapenos. Okay, so got my gloves, got my apron. I already started doing this before I thought to film. So I am getting out these seeds and insides of these jalapeno peppers. And then I'm just going to cut them in half, right down the middle. And that's what we are going to stuff our cream cheese into. Alright, and I'm just going to keep going until I get all of these done. I just cut the top off, and then I dig around in there just a little and get that inner part and seeds out. Alright. Now I'm going to stop every once in a while and get rid of that so I don't end up with seeds everywhere. So I will put them in this pan to go out to the compost. And as soon as I get done with all these, I will wash my gloves off good with dishwashing liquid. So here we go. Alright, so I'm just going to get these all done and then we will come back. So this recipe calls for an 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened, and it calls for garlic powder and onion powder. I was out of onion powder, so I had to get out some of my dehydrated onions that we done last year and make my own powder. It only calls for a teaspoon, so I made me up a little powder, which I will put the rest of it in a jar to use later and measure that out. There we go. That should be right about a teaspoon. And I will bottle that up in a little bit. Set that aside. Oops, nope, I still need my teaspoon for my garlic. This is ground up garlic powder and my onion powder, a teaspoon of each. So we're going to do about a level teaspoon of each in there. And then we're just going to mix that up real good. I'm just going to mix mine with a fork, because that's the way I roll. So I'm just going to get this mixed up really good. That's all it calls for this recipe, is your 8 ounces of cream cheese, and then your garlic powder and onion powder. Now on the garlic powder, it actually said garlic salt, and I don't have garlic salt. I have garlic powder, so I'm going to use just a little bit of salt in there to make up for that. All right. Now I got to just get this mixed real good. My cream cheese is not as soft as it needs to be, so I may have to let this sit a minute. Okay, so I got me a pan of good hot water here, and I'm just going to let that soak down in there till that softens. We don't do microwave here, so we can't pop it in the microwave like some people would. We don't do microwave. Microwaves are not good for you. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, so that got soft in just a couple of minutes. Very good soft. And I can mix that up good. There. Alright, that's mixed good. Now my next step is getting these peppers cleaned up. I'm going to rinse them off and pat them dry. So I'll get this back out and get my gloves and everything back on and rinse these peppers off to get the seeds off, and then I'm going to pat them dry. Alright, so here we go. We've got our cream cheese mixture, and our peppers are all cleaned out and dried off. I'm going to take spoons of this and fill in these halves. That's all there is to it. I'm just going to fill in these halves like so. Now this is just the cream cheese mixture with, it's an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese with the teaspoon of garlic, salt, teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm gonna do these up, set them over here. Now what we are gonna do is we'll probably eat a few of these, but we are gonna set this pan full of these in the freezer and get them frozen, and then put them in baggies to use later. But when we do cook them, we will put them in a pan and put them in the oven. You can also deep fry them, but we will be putting ours in a pan in the oven, and you can sprinkle some other cheese on top of that. You can sprinkle some whatever, Colby, mild cheddar, whatever you want on top of that. And so that's how I'm going to cook those. Now we'll be cooking a couple here in a little bit to test out and let you know what I think of them, because I've had these at the store before, but we have never made them ourselves. Last year we used most of our jalapenos that Lee done last year. He cut them up and put them in the freezer to use in recipes, and honestly we just didn't use a whole lot of them. We still have a whole lot in the freezer where we did not use them because we're not real big on hot, but we definitely will eat these. We both like jalapeno poppers is what we call these. We both like jalapeno poppers. A lot of people, like I said, will deep fry them. We are going to bake ours and put a little cheese on top. So I'm going to do that here in a minute. Get a few of these done. This is kind of messy with the cream cheese, trying to use gloves with it, but I do not want to take the gloves off, so we are going to bear through this. And I'll tell you, It honestly might not hurt to wear a mask doing this because I'm getting a little sniffly here doing this. That hot pepper is certainly, the aroma is getting up my nose. So if you're gonna do this and you are very sensitive to that kind of thing, you might want even a mask on. Alright, so that's what you do. Here's how we're doing this, and I'm going to take a couple of these and go ahead and put them in the oven while I'm finishing them, and I will come back, oops, and let you know what that tastes like. Alright. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to put these in the freezer, and then after they get frozen, I'll put them in a baggie to save them to cook later. It's messy. I made a mess of it. It is a messy job. Some of you that cook more than I do might be able to do it without making a mess. But also I want to say I coughed a lot during this. The peppers made me cough. So you might want to wear a mask if you're sensitive to those things. Also, you will want to clean up good afterwards with a good dish soap. Dawn is highly recommended because it cuts grease and oils, and the jalapeno oil will be on everything. So I don't have any Dawn right now. I'm just going to clean up really good and maybe use a little vinegar afterwards to make sure. If you do get it on your skin and it burns, you can put some milk on there, wash it off with milk or Dawn dishwashing liquid, and then after you've washed the oil off good with milk or Dawn, then you put some oil on there, some kind of oil, whatever, olive oil or whatever you have, put that on there. The oil makes the oil that causes the burn to be lessened, but you first want to wash it off good with milk or dishwashing liquid, then apply oil that will dilute the oil that you have on there. Any other suggestions about what to do if you get burned? Put those in the comments below for us so that we will know next time for Lee. And so also I want to thank my friend Cathy for inviting me to do this collaboration, and she has some good recipes on there herself, so check all those out. And so we are just about ready to taste test these jalapeno peppers. Okay, here is my oven jalapeno poppers. We cooked them at 350 for 25 minutes. I did put a little mild cheddar on top, and I'm letting them cool just a little. Some people take these and flour them and fry them. So, are we ready for a taste test? Very good. Again, thank you, Cathy at Living Miracle Homestead, for inviting me to do this collaboration. Y'all try these out.